I actually think Tucker has a serious demon problem.
Yeah.
Like
We've talked about
speculated the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I think Tucker is at least somewhat genuine in what he's doing, but I think that his motivation is, I actually genuinely believe he's being driven by demons. He said this publicly.
He did.
Right? That he's been attacked by demons. That same hunting trip that I go with Charlie on, Tucker is often on that same trip. And the last time we were on that trip, I actually asked him, with a big group of guys sitting around, about 15 of us, about the demon story. And he retold that story.
So I go into the bathroom, I flip on the light, and I have claw marks on both sides, on right and left side on my ribs, and they're bleeding.
There's one of two things when you listen to that story. Okay, either, maybe three, either Tucker's just insane and delusional. I don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
Number two, he's just lying. He's making it up because he thinks there's some benefit to it. Maybe. Or number three, he's actually got demon problems.
And he doesn't realize that it hasn't left him.
Right.
Well, here's what he claimed the last time I was with him on this hunting trip. This just goes back to last November. When I asked him about it, he said not only has he been attacked by demons that one time he talks about, but it's happened many times and it continues to happen regularly.
Then the next month, his crew starts getting attacked by demons.
But he says it's right now. It's continuous. And when I asked him to explain that, he said, well, every time I have what I would consider an encounter with God, a positive experience with God, it's followed within 24 hours by some kind of demon attack.
Very interesting.
And he said, well, I don't know what's going on. And I said, well, I mean, it seems pretty obvious to me. The Lord always desires you and he's going to chase you and he wants you. And the devil sees you as something highly valuable. Like you can do an incredible amount of damage. You know, millions of people, right? You're an influencer. And so this is what we're witnessing is a cosmic battle for your soul.
When Tucker came out and told the world that he had been attacked by demons, people laughed at him. I didn't, because
I didn't either.
He had told me about it right after it happened. And this was like a year or so before he told the world. He texted me because he knew I was a serious Christian, being Orthodox. I do have a demonology.
Yeah.
And I said, wow, that if this really happened to you, you need to talk to an exorcist. And I connected him with an exorcist I know. And the exorcist also brought in a second exorcist to work with him. But Tucker decided he didn't want to do that. He said, I'm too Protestant for that. This seems like witchcraft to me. So he refused that sort of help. He told me it'd be fine, just him and the Bible.
He talked to Protestants, he talked to Catholics, he talked to a Jewish rabbi. They said, oh, this will help you, wear this thing. Didn't help him. You got to cry to Jesus. And as soon as he figured that out, all these problems went away.
Well, he gets fired from Fox a couple of months later in the Dominion settlement. And then that fall, he launches his own network and goes really dark really fast with that Daryl Cooper who says Churchill is a real villain in World War II. And you've seen as well as I have, it got darker and darker and darker.
I didn't know what the Talmud was until pretty recently. I'm reading it. I actually think it's really interesting.
And then he gets Fuentes on. And that's when I finally felt like I had to speak out and say something. I just said, this was a big mistake. It's something I wrote. And you shouldn't do this. We ought to keep the firewall there. And
I had my assistant on the phone too, who's Jewish, by the way. And not to be that guy and say that thing, but like, my best friend is a Jewish person.
I was sitting in Budapest on my couch, trying to put off going to bed. I looked at YouTube. The algorithm served up a clip from a recent Tucker broadcast in which Tucker's sitting in his main studio talking with a guy who looks like a hunter, a local hunter. And Tucker starts off talking about the things that are the spooky things in the woods behind his house in Maine. And he goes on to say that when I go back there hunting, I feel evil spirits in a certain part of the place. I immediately thought of a film I had seen called The Witch. It's set in New England in the 1630s. It opens with a proud man going before the Puritans who run his town. And they're telling him, the town council or whatever, the board of elders says, you have to repent of this heresy. He won't repent. So he and his family get exiled to the edge of a forest. in the film, inside the forest lives a witch with demonic powers. And over the course of the movie, that physical proximity to spiritual evil that is located in a place works on the pride of the protagonist to destroy him and his family.
This demon that was sent, that was put on him, was trying to break through and have a sex magic contact with him, and he rejected it. So then it assaulted him.
I have a theory that something like that might have happened to Tucker. It might be happening to Tucker. I hope I'm wrong about that, but I do believe absolutely in spiritual warfare. And the exorcists I've talked to who know about his case are incredibly worried about him. They say he's in deep, deep danger.
I know a lot more about Tucker's story. I can't tell you this private. And what's happened since then. But let's just say this. It's been an episode of Ghostbusters in Florida and up in Maine since it started.